Okay, the day is today. It is primer day. So we have sanded down all the fairing compound. Everything's smooth for our purposes. Everything's been cleaned up. Dust has been knocked down. Dust has been swept up. The surface has been tacked off and cleaned with isopropanol. And that is flashed off and dried, and we are about ready for everything. So I was just going to run you through everything that I have prepared ahead of time to do this. So what we have is our very expensive and high quality, way more than we'll ever need, topside primer, Total Boat, white, which is what they recommend for their system. Obviously you want to prime the surface before you paint to get the best finish. So, and if you're using Total Boat paint, you should probably use Total Boat primer, just so everything, you use the same system for the entire duration of the project. So super high solids, super good reviews to fill in all like the micro cracks and crevices and stuff that are in the surface. I mean, we've sanded it down and made it as smooth as possible, but there's obviously going to be micro things that you can't see. So the high solids are what we need. But with the high solids, everything settles to the bottom of the can, so you need to mash those. So what you use is a wide flange stir stick, probably even wider than this. I'm using this because it's clean and it's a paint stick, and we don't have anything else in the shop to stand up real quick, and this will be fine. So they recommend don't shake it, stir it. So you use the stir stick and you mash down the solids that are in the bottom of the can and you stir them into it. For good measure, I have a stir gun, is what I'm calling it, which is just, it's a stirring bit mixed into, or put into a drill. So I'm gonna mash it up, I'm gonna stir it by hand, then I'm gonna go in with this to really kind of blend everything together, and then I'll probably give it one more stir with the stick, and then we'll be ready. For the next portion of the making sure there are no contaminants in it, and you use what's called a paint filter. And so I'm gonna use one of our cups, a clean one, obviously, and you run your now paint through the primer through the paint filter just to make sure there are no contaminants, there are no solids, there's nothing that's gonna print onto the surface of the boat. Then I'm gonna take this with a brush and brush along the keel and the stem and the hard to reach places, and then I'm gonna roll most of it. For rolling, we have these foam rollers. They recommend, foam rollers or mole hair rollers. If you use mole hair, make sure you tape them and then pull the tape off to get all the micros. I'm gonna try the foam. It's what other people I've talked to have used, so we'll go from there. And then clean up. Obviously we have lacquer thinner and a bucket, just so you have everything out in front of you. I'm gonna be wearing a mask just because I don't know what's in this and if it's gonna flash off or get chemicals. It's a nice day, but I don't want to open the doors and get dust blowing through here to land on the surface. Again, it's just the primer, but you want to make sure that the surface is going to be as smooth as possible moving forward, and the least amount of contaminants or imperfections in the surface as possible, because those are going to print to your paint. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's go. My word.